Today, we're gonna be shooting these really cool microphones. So I got the Rode Wireless Pro. I'm going to be using 6 lights today. So this will be the most complex lighting setup I have done outside of like a motorcycle that I did a while back, but I didn't have 6 lights then. So I just used light painting, which is something you can do. So before you say, oh, I don't have 6 lights, I don't wanna do this lesson or learn this tutorial, you can do this with 1 light if you really had to. You would just have to change the light position and then comp it together in post. We're also going to make this so that you can swap out the background instantly for black or white and have a great look without affecting the other lighting. So that's gonna be a pretty fun challenge. And yeah, we're gonna get some gels out and do some fun stuff, get some scrims. It's gonna be pretty crazy by the end, but I'm really excited to see how the results turn out now. Okay, so here's my reference render, and I just blocked this out with some really primitive objects, but this is the concept that I have. So I want it to kind of look like it's floating off of the glass, and all these elements are kind of like just falling or rising out of the charging case here, which is pretty cool. So in a setup like this, it's really, really important to be as precise as you possibly can with your composition before you begin lighting, because if you get your lights in the exact position, but your composition is not right, and then you have to tweak the items again, well then your lighting completely changes. And so you'll see why that becomes very impractical down the road. But for still life, a general rule is to always compose first as best you can and then light later. That is pretty stinking close. So as long as this case stays there, I'm very happy with this composition. I think it's gonna look awesome. So the first light that I want to bring in is a green one that's going to reflect off of the receiver here, right here on this part. And so I've got the FJ402 here, and I'm gonna pop on the modeling lamp so that we can see exactly where it's hitting the subject. And I'm gonna kind of bring it back and forward until we get that reflection right in the sweet spot, right about here or so. And then I'm going to adjust up and down as well. So that's pretty close to what I want. I'm gonna turn the modeling lamp off. Yeah, I like that, cool. So the next light I wanna bring in is this one. And this has a blue gel on it, same exact setup as the other one. Turn the modeling lamp on, and this might be really tough to see. Oh, there it is. So we can see that reflecting off of there. Then I need to adjust the height of this until it hits exactly where I want it to hit. And that's pretty close. That's a nice blue there, so I'm really digging that. Try to get this in position. I'm gonna go ahead and mount it right here. Get it down nice and tight. And there we go, that looks really good. So let's see them all in context, those 3 lights together. Sweet, that looks really good, I like that. So now what's happening that you'll notice with the gels up top is that the red is also catching where this blue should be, and it's creating this kind of muddy brownish effect. What I'm trying to do is just get the red off of this top one here, right about there. Nice, yeah, that's good. And it's got good saturation too. So now what I need to focus on is dialing in the key lights and stuff like that. So I've got to be really clever with how I do this because I only have 2 lights left. But I think I've come up with a pretty good solution to get the effect that I want. So what we're going for is a really kind of glossy aesthetic, very professional. So we're gonna use scrims to get some gradient lighting, but I also don't wanna lose the gloss look of the front surface on these because they are glass. So I need to get some hard lines in there, which I think we're gonna have a clever solution for, I hope. We'll see how it goes. Let's move this up there. There we go. So because I only have 2 lights to work with and I need to reserve another light for the other side of this, I'm gonna use a 1x4 strip box or strip bank, as they say. And I also have it sandbagged because it is a little bit of a wonky setup, so I don't want anything crazy to happen. Let me go ahead and turn it on, and let's have a look and see what this does. Yeah, okay, it looks really good. So it's providing some light onto the case here. It's showing off that zipper. It's filling in the front so it's not so dark, and getting a little bit of edge here and there. I like it a lot. I think that's very, very nice. And we don't have to go too crazy with this. You can tell I've used all my good lighting stands because this one is so janky. It's bad. There we go. And that looks really good. We're getting a nice bevel on the top there. Okay, all the lights back on. Nice, wow, that looks crazy good actually. Now what I have to do is I need to extend my exposure time to see what everything is doing. And that's gonna bring up the LED lights on the units themselves. It's gonna bring up the constant light there. So I'm at 1/250th of a second right now on this camera. I'm gonna switch it down to 0.6 seconds and see what that looks like. And of course, I'm gonna have to black out the studio. And there we go. Yeah, still looks really good. All right, so here's the main trick that I wanna teach you in this lesson, and that is how to get those hard gloss lines. I'm just gonna use some tape, and I'm gonna stick it directly onto the scrim material where it needs to be to block that light. So I'm just gonna take this tape and kind of get in here and find out where that reflection is. So see, there it is. Bring the tape down here. Now my arm's gonna be in it as well, so gotta be careful with that, but I really wanna see that LCD screen. And kind of like right here, seems to be a pretty good spot. So I'm just gonna stick that on. So we'll just do that same exact thing for the transmitter there. And I don't wanna stick it too hard because this tape will stick to the stuff really, really firmly. Double, triple check focus. I'm gonna mark this as a 1 star, and then let's swap out for the black background. Okay, we got it taped up there. Probably would have been better off to find a different way to rig it, but let's have a look and see. And that's really good. You know, I'm not really too concerned about all of the lens flares and things, but I am okay with doing a little bit of post work. So just so you can see the set from all angles now, this is what it looks like. Here's the layout back here. You can see the position of the red and green light here, as well as how that flag is working. There's the blue light. And you can see how the ice light is clamped onto the C-stand with the super clamp there, just like the red light is over there. But that is the set right there. All right, so there you have it. That's how I approached this photo shoot, and I'm pretty stoked on it. So I hope you learned quite a bit from this. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Of course, you can download the set.a.light 3D file and all of that good stuff if you're on lumauniversity.com. And yeah, if you have any questions, I'm always here for you. Go have fun, try it out with electronics that you have, and let me know how it goes.